otaku and welcome back to my channel. It's Kai here. 2024 was an absolute peak year from anime. From hits like Solo Leveling, Mashle, and Frieren, and even a ton of underrated gems like The Witch and the Beast and Go-Go Loser Rangers. And with anime becoming more and more accessible, it may feel really hard to pick your next watch. So in today's video, I'm going to be giving you my top 10 best anime from 2024. Now, I will say I did just do an underrated version of this, so if you're a seasoned otaku looking for titles you don't see in every YouTube video, make sure you check that out here. And one final note, this list does not include any anime that started in 2024 and went well into 2025, for example, Blue Box and Orb. And with that, let's get into the list. Now, before we get into the top 10 list, I have to give an honorable mention because I'm too indecisive.
No shit.
And that goes to an anime I mentioned in my previous recommendation video, but that I'm sure you have not heard of before unless you watched that video, and that is Dead Demons Dead Destruction. I recently found out this was by the creator of Goodnight Poon Poon. Thanks, Will, the editor.
That boy ain't right.
If that means anything to you, but this is an almost near perfect coming-of-age series that is also science fiction. The story follows two high school students, Karade Koyama and Ora Nakagawa, as they navigate their everyday lives while a giant mothership looms above them. The real twist, though, the aliens serve really no more of a purpose than to be a reflection on human nature when faced with the unknown. And I won't go into too much detail because I rambled about it for far too long in that last video, which you can watch using the card up here or in the description box, as I said before. But I could not make a top 10 best anime from 2024 video without even mentioning it slightly. Now let's dive into the actual list, and this first anime needs absolutely no introduction.
We're gonna do it anyway.
Solo Leveling is still even making waves in 2025 with season 2, which is somehow even better than the first season, but this first season is still magnifique, okay?
Okay.
The series brings to life the stunning manhwa art style as it follows Sung Jin-woo, an E-rank hunter who, through a mysterious system, ends up gaining the ability to level up after a near-death experience in a dungeon. What follows is a journey where he becomes an unstoppable force in a world where humanity is on the near brink of destruction. And he's constantly battling more and more powerful creatures while trying to hide the fact that he is the only person who can level up his skills. And I won't go too much more to the plot because I'm sure you've seen this one. Sure, they cut out a lot from the manhwa, especially in season 2, but since this is about season 1, we'll forget that for now.
You must unlearn what you have learned.
The anime adaptation is still top tier. It keeps who Sung Jin-woo is to his core while streamlining a lot of the internal dialogue we get in the manhwa, where it seems almost like a video game-like decision making when it comes to leveling up his stats and how he's going to beat the monsters. This results in a fast-paced, action-packed experience that keeps you hooked from start to finish. And let's not forget that dark Arya scene, and because I still get chills watching it. It's so good. All in all, Solo Leveling was a series that really packed a punch in 2024, and I'm expecting it to rake in a ton of awards, not only this year, but for the next Crunchyroll Awards as well. Next up is an anime I'm absolutely obsessed with, and I've definitely talked about on this channel before. And like Solo Leveling, it currently has a season 2 airing this year, and that is Apothecary Diaries. This historical mystery set in an imperial palace has completely won me over. At its heart is one of the best female protagonists we've seen in a very long time, Mao Mao, who is a clever, cat-like, resourceful girl who loves all things that can be turned into medicine, from newts to plants. She loves it all. Mao Mao works as a servant for one of the top concubines in the inner palace, and along the way, she unravels a series of captivating mysteries week after week. What makes this series so special is its perfect blend of historical intrigue and slice-of-life moments brimming with unique characters, subtle secrets, and fascinating medical knowledge. It's a shining example of how anime can give us a female lead who is just as competent, compelling, and complex as their male counterparts. In fact, Apothecary Diaries is setting a new standard for anime heroines. With stunning animation, beautiful color schemes, intriguing mysteries, history, and a very slow burn romance, this anime checks all the boxes, and if there's any justice in the world, it will be coming home with at least one award this season. That's how good this anime is.
Are you sure about that?
Continuing with the theme of badass, complex, compelling, interesting female MCs, we have our next anime on this list, Frieren. And while technically it did start premiering in 2023, it did not complete its run until well into 2024, making it both eligible for the Crunchyroll Anime Awards this year and my own top 2024 anime list. I make the rules here, so if you don't agree with that, I don't know what to tell you.
I'll allow it.
Now, I'll be honest, this is no news if you are a fan of this channel, but I did not quite get the hype of Frieren at first.
What?
It felt slow, boring, and didn't really quite match the hype I had heard, so for the first 10 episodes, I just kept hoping it would get to the point where it matched the praise. And, well, it did. Once the action picks up, you realize just how vital those slower, slice-of-life moments were to the story's depth and emotional impact. In case you somehow miss Frieren, maybe you live under a rock, I don't know your living situation, okay? It follows Frieren, a practically immortal elf mage, who, after defeating the Demon King with her party, embarks on a new journey to better understand life and humanity. Along the way, she revisits familiar places and explores new ones with her new apprentice, Fern. It's cozy, heartwarming, and comforting, but don't let that fool you. By the end of the season, it's action-packed and keeps you at the edge of your seat, and this may be a bold statement, but it quite frankly has one of the best exam arcs I've ever seen in an anime. Having already whacked up some well-deserved awards in Japan already, I'm really pretty confident that Frieren is going to be Anime of the Year this year. So if you haven't seen it yet for some reason, just give it a watch. You'll understand what all the fuss is about.
Maybe.
Dungeon Meshi.
Dungeon Meshi.
I've talked about this one so many times, and I'm honestly not going to stop talking about it now, okay?
God, please, no! 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 No!
It's hands down the coziest anime of 2024. It's so good. The story kicks off with a group of adventurers who fail miserably at defeating a red dragon, forcing them to escape while the dragon devours the leader's sister, Fallon. Determined to rescue her, the remaining party, which consists of Laos, Chilchuck, and Marcel, set out to return to the dungeon and save Fallon before she gets completely digested. The catch, well, they left most of their supplies and they're broke, and also the clock is ticking. Just when things seem impossible, Laos, who secretly has a weird obsession with wanting to try every single dungeon monster, suggests they survive by finding food inside the dungeon. And what do you have it? This is a TV show, so they almost instantly meet up with a cook named Senshi, who is a dwarf and just so happens to do just that. Along the way, he teaches them the art of cooking said monsters. From there, the adventure really sets off, blending the perfect mix of plot intrigue, deliciously weird meals, and a D&D campaign-like pacing that keeps you hooked week after week. Dungeon Meshi is relaxing, cozy, and intriguing, all while offering something unique to the genre. And this is one that completely cured my anime burnout in 2024. If you haven't seen that video and you want some more anime that will do just that, then, check that out, either here or in the description box. And if none of that sold you, there is a super cute cat girl, okay? And if that doesn't get you to watch this anime, there's no hope for you, okay? This was a comforting, cozy, delicious anime that you need to watch. Alright, next up is an anime that hit as hard as Godzilla himself, and that's Kaiju number 8. There was a lot of debate before the show came out regarding its art style. A lot of people felt it was too simplistic and it would not live up to the hype of the manga. But once the show actually premiered, I think we all agreed that this was a standout anime.
Is he though?
The story follows Kafka Hibino, an ordinary man with a childhood dream of fighting kaiju. After a chance encounter with a small kaiju, he unexpectedly gains the power to transform into a powerful monster himself, which is then dubbed Kaiju number 8. This sense is a lot like AOT if you haven't watched the show. Now, Kafka must balance his secret identity, his new kaiju identity, all while still aspiring to join the defense force at his old age, where he can fight alongside his childhood friend, Mina Ashiro, and protect humanity from the terrifying kaiju that plague their world. Season 1 had some truly jaw-dropping moments, intense battles, emotional character development, and a perfect mix of action and heart. The music set the tone so well, making every fight scene feel super epic, and also the intro was also astounding, which I talked about in this video right here, ranking anime openings. You can check it out here or in the description box. And let's not forget the standout moments, like when Kafka has to confront what it really means to be a hero while grappling with his own monstrous transformation, which is one of the final battles in the season. Overall, it delivered everything you want from a shonen anime: action, heart, and character growth. I'm really excited for season 2 and what's to come, especially considering how much ground we covered in season 1. So if you're a fan of kaiju-based stories, or if you just love a good shonen, don't miss Kaiju number 8. It absolutely is worth the watch, and it was absolutely a standout in 2024. I fear I would have my otaku card status revoked if I did not include this next one.
It's just been revoked.
Which has quickly become a cultural phenomenon and powerhouse anime, and that is Dan Da Dan. The series follows two high school students, Momo Ayase, who's all into the occult, and Ken Takakura, also known as Okuran, who's all in on aliens, and neither believes the other is real. However, together they soon find out that both entities do in fact exist, and they are forced to team up in order to fight them. I mentioned this in my most anticipated anime for 2024, and it absolutely did not disappoint. Dan Da Dan hits all the right notes for fans of supernatural anime like Chainsaw Man, Mob Psycho, and JJK. It's vibrantly colored and packed with quirky and sometimes hilariously awkward moments, and it balances heart-pounding action with absurd humor like no other. Now, I do have some issues with the sexualization of the high school girls in this, but even with that, this bizarre show is still super compelling to me. A huge part of its charm lies in its character dynamics, especially the evolving relationship between Momo and Okurun, which you can tell is very shoujo inspired. They start as reluctant allies, but their chemistry slowly transforms into a deeper partnership that's both funny and heartwarming. And then there's a wild mix of intense action and out of left field humor that Dan Da Dan does so well. It never shies away from throwing in unexpected twists and goofy moments, all while keeping the pace lightning fast and exciting. If you haven't jumped in on this one yet, you're missing out on something truly unique, so you should just watch it, and then you'll understand. Okay.
Okay.
This next one is one I mentioned in my underrated anime from 2024, but it's definitely starting to pick up some traction, so it counts for this video too, okay? Shangri-La Frontier is, in my opinion, the best video game anime I have ever seen.
That's my opinion!
It's essentially a better SAO, and you can really tell it was made by gamers for gamers. That sounds like an infomercial, but wait, there's more!
But wait, there's more.
The story, which started as a web novel, follows Rakuro Hizutome, aka Sanraku as he's known online, as he takes a break from his glitchy, poorly written, trash VR games and jumps into the S-tier VR game Shangri-La Frontier. The show offers glimpses into other games, and even more so in season 2, which is currently airing, but for now let's stick with season 1 since that's what came out in 2024. I really wasn't planning to watch this one, but it completely caught me off guard with how good it was. Sanraku, the main character, is witty and hilarious, and his knowledge of trash games is funny, relatable, and honestly, a superpower. What makes this show stand out is how it captures the true mentality of gamers, the way they approach character selection, stats, boss battles, and everything in between. The story feels so open, and honestly, it makes me wish the technology existed today so I could hop into the VR World of Warcraft and live out my childhood dreams of being a night elf druid.
Okay, Kenny, add Eyes of the Beast to your hotbar. Stan, check your fury talents to boost your shouts. Got it?
Quite frankly, Shangri-La Frontier is one of the best shows to come out of the last year, so if you're part of the large majority who hasn't watched this anime yet, please, once you finish this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe as well. Go watch Shangri-La Frontier and let me know what you think, because you honestly won't regret it. Are you a fan of Tokyo Revengers? What if it didn't have a sci-fi twist and instead had a tough, no-nonsense MC? Well, then this next anime might be your favorite. Landing at number 8 on this list is Windbreaker, which was definitely a standout anime from last year. Windbreaker follows Haruka Sakura, a new student at Furin High, a school known for its fierce brawlers and the Bofurin organization that protects the town. Haruka's goal? Well, it's really quite simple: to become the strongest and to challenge the status quo. What really sets this anime apart from other fighting series is its emotional depth and character development. It's not just about throwing punches, it's about the people behind those punches. If you've ever heard the saying that people can talk/communicate with their fists, this takes that to its literal sense. It also has some very interesting and cool character design and the fights. Let's talk about the action, okay? Windbreaker absolutely nails the fight choreography. The battles are fast, raw, and visually intense. Each fight feels fresh and distinct, not just in terms of strategy, but also in terms of emotional stakes. Whether it's a gritty street brawl or settling a personal vendetta, every battle is filled with tension and heavy emotion, making the stakes feel incredibly high. It's no wonder Windbreaker had everyone talking last year.
I can't hear shit. Never mind.
And if you're into action with heart and real emotional investment, then this anime is definitely one for you. And I think after watching it, we all wish Takemichi could be Sakura. Okay? I said it.
Say what?
Now let's switch up the pace a little bit and wind down with a lovely romance anime.
Boo!
I don't often dive into the romance genre, though you can check out this video here, as I'm still somewhat of a noob, but honestly, I couldn't make a 2024 anime of the year type video without including this next one, and it's the beautiful A Sign of Affection. The story follows Yuki Itose, a deaf college student who communicates primarily through Japanese Sign Language, and her budding romance with Itsuomi Nagi, a polyglot and world traveler who's eager to learn sign language after a chance encounter on a train. The chemistry between the two is so heartwarming, and while I'd say the strongest character development lies in our two MCs, leading way to a somewhat weak ensemble cast compared to other romance animes I've watched, I really don't have any other complaints. What makes this anime stand out is how it portrays two adults, which is rare, I know, where the couple gets together within the first few episodes, and spoiler alert, they do kiss, okay?
I am shocked and appalled.
The story is wholesome, touching on themes of disability and the beauty of connection, communication, and love. And the animation is absolutely stunning. So if A Sign of Affection doesn't win at least one award during the Crunchyroll Awards, I will be genuinely shocked. Actually, I won't be that shocked.
I am shocked. Shocked. Well, not that shocked.
Because it's the Crunchyroll Awards, where shonen is king. But regardless, if you haven't watched this anime from 2024, you definitely should. Last but definitely not least, we have the anime that was tied for my favorite anime of 2023, but the season 2, and that is Mashle. It's rare for a second season to keep the momentum of a standout first season, but Mashle completely delivers without missing a beat. I won't spoil too much in case you haven't started the show at all, but just know this is a lot like Black Clover or Wisteria, Wand and Sword, if you've seen either of those. And season 2 picks up right where season 1 leaves off, following the third arc in the manga, the Execution arc. Here we get the Divine Visionary Selection Exam, giving Mash another shot to prove himself and of course avoid execution. The stakes are higher than ever, and as tensions between Mash and the authorities continue to rise, we learn more about Mash's past, a secret identity, and the truth behind his adopted father. How will Mash measure up against the Divine Visionaries, the pinnacle of magical students at Easton? Well, if you're familiar with the story, it goes exactly how you'd expect. Packed with hilarious moments, bizarre situations, and deeper lore than Season 1, Mashle Season 2 was an absolute gem that absolutely kept up all the hype of Season 1 into Season 2. So if you haven't watched it, definitely make sure you go back and pick it up.
And you're gonna like it!
Before this video wraps up, I have to give one last mention to an anime that truly deserves it. We've already had an honorable mention, so I'm gonna call this the honorable mention part 2, the epilogue. And that is Haikyuu the Dumpster Battle. Without a doubt, the best anime movie of last year. Now granted, if I can recall, I don't think I watched any other anime movie from last year, and I'm incredibly biased, I'll admit.
The game was rigged from the start.
Haikyuu is tied for my first favorite anime with One Piece. Nonetheless, it would be criminal for me not to mention this movie. And I honestly couldn't have asked for a better birthday present than for this movie to finally come out the day before my birthday.
Well, isn't that special?
The story picks up with Karasuno High's volleyball team advancing past the preliminary rounds of the Harataka tournament in the Miyagi Prefecture, all the way to the intense third round where they face off against their longtime rivals, Nakama High. We get to see all our favorite characters return, this time to the big screen, as one of the best arcs from the manga is faithfully adapted, with hardly anything cut or altered. It captures all the best parts of beloved characters like Bokuto, Hinata, Kurto, and it perfectly showcases the emotional scene where Kima finally gives it all, and what I would say is the most like Tsukishima's moment in previous seasons if you don't read the manga. And that moment alone gave me chills, okay? It's bittersweet though, because this means that the animated Haikyuu journey is finally coming to an end, though I'm in denial and we won't talk about that now, especially since they've announced some new content, okay? Still, I couldn't end this video without mentioning it, so if you haven't seen it yet, trust me, it's a must watch. Whether you have to pirate it or not, you need to watch the movie if you're a Haikyuu fan. And with that, there's 10, or more accurately, 12 of my favorite anime from 2024. As always, let me know which ones you'd scrap from the list, which ones you'd add into the list. And if you want to vote on future videos, get behind the scenes content, and bloopers from videos just like this one here, please consider becoming a member and joining my Discord community where we talk about tons and tons of anime. And with that, if you're looking for any more anime recommendations, maybe also from 2024 or just genre-based ones, feel free to check out this playlist here. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!